I'm Mel.
Kia ora tātou, I'm Ben.
And I think I'm going to sit on the sofa. It's like story time. Thank you so much for being here and holding space for stories like ours. My husband Ben and I lived on a yacht called Kohara, alongside our dearest friends Michelle, Bjorn and their 3-year-old son Nico. Not long after we moved aboard, Michelle became pregnant. They just knew it was a girl and already had her name, Luna. After 5 years of trying, Ben and I conceived only a month later. We had always loved the name Nalu. We hadn't realised it at first how beautifully their names mirrored each other. Luna and Nalu. It carried the feeling of something far greater at play. We moved through our pregnancy together, eating, craving, feeling and growing. Michelle and I even shared the same incredible midwife, Katie, who was a close friend of Michelle's mother, Wendy, who is also a midwife and who are both here today. At our very first appointment with Katie, we laughed about the idea of birthing on the same day, though we were 4 weeks apart. Eventually, we all left the yacht and moved into a rental together in Okiato, near Kororareka, where the car ferry horns of Arapaoa became a kind of background rhythm to our days. We soon learned that if the car ferries stopped midstream and spun, sounding their horns 6 times, it meant someone local had passed away. What a way to honour past loved ones. Then came the 9th of October 2022. I was 36 weeks pregnant. After a night full of movement, we woke on the morning of October the 9th. As he did every morning, Ben rolled over and greeted us both, his hand resting gently on my puku. Nalu kicked back one last time, as if he had been waiting for his papa. A final hello, a final goodbye. But after that, there was silence. That morning, Nalu didn't move as he normally would. In preparation for Michelle's home birth with Luna, both Katie, our midwife, and Wendy, Michelle's mum, were at our home that day. By some mysterious orchestration, they were both simply there. Katie helped me lay down and began to search for Nalu's heartbeat. We all gathered around, holding our own breath as we waited to hear this, to hear his. Michelle stood nearby, eyes fixed on the window, drawn to the car ferry in the distance. It had stopped mid-channel, and then came the sound. 6 long horns and the slow, airy spin we had come to recognise as a farewell ritual, a sign that someone had passed. We tried to ignore it, to override it. Surely not this time. Not here. Not now. Katie suggested that we drive to Whangārei Hospital. Every fibre of my being clung to hope, refusing to entertain that anything could be wrong. Soon after came the words no parent ever expects to hear. I'm so sorry. Your baby doesn't have a heartbeat. Time froze. Everything fell silent except for the scream inside me. This couldn't be real. I felt like I'd slipped into a dream, a glitch in the matrix. I kept thinking, rewind. Please take me back. This isn't how the story goes. Ka whatera, ia taku, mahuri totara. I was induced the next day. How does a mother prepare to give birth to a baby who will not cry? to meet her child, only to say goodbye. Nalu was born in the early hours of the 11th of October in the Butterfly Suite at Whangārei Hospital. And as if the stars themselves conspired to write this, Luna was born just hours later at home in Okiato. Katie and Wendy, bless their hearts, held space for both births, one of light, one of shadow. Nalu was beautiful. He lay in my arms, still warm from our shared blood within the womb. Lifeless and perfect. I didn't want to let go, and I didn't have to. We took him home. A good friend gently suggested we collect ice packs from the funeral home to help preserve his little body. So we did, and we brought our son back to his village. For 8 beautiful days, Nalu was with us. We welcomed him into our world, all the same, and cared for him as if he were breathing in our arms. We bathed him, we wrapped him, we held him close, we introduced him to the ocean with his papa, and we carried him into the Kodi forest. We sang to him. We sat in ceremony and thanked our ancestors for receiving him. All the while, Luna's cries echoed from the next room, an embodiment of life in its fullness, while Nalu lay silent and peaceful in ours. You might wonder how we coexisted under the same roof, one family celebrating and the other grieving. But truly we needed each other. It was their story too, Luna and Nalu's yin and yang dance, and our village held us all. From the moment Nalu passed, the veil thinned, messages came, strange electrical flickers and noises, birds visiting in ways too aligned to ignore. It was as though Nalu had found his own language beyond the veil. One of the days at home, little Nico, just 3 years old, shyly gifted us a small rose quartz heart for Nalu. It felt like such an innocent yet powerful act of love. We gently placed it on Nalu's chest in his Moses basket, where it rested with him day and night. And when the time came to say goodbye, we filled his basket with flowers, handwritten letters, locks of our hair, and that tiny rose quartz heart. I sent it with him, a token of our love to travel beyond this world. Just a few days later, a care package arrived from a dear friend in the mail. To my surprise, inside was a rose quartz heart. Identical in shape and size. I couldn't believe it. She told me she'd felt an urgent nudge to send it. It was as if Nalu had returned it, a gentle whisper from the other side reminding us he was still near, still loving, still a part of our unfolding story. My eldest son, Zeke, 20 years old at the time, came to spend Nalu's final days with us. It was a profound and disorientating experience for him to witness his baby brother's silent form, to hold death so intimately. And as if the contrast couldn't be more stark, just a few months later, his father's new partner gave birth to healthy twins, a boy and a girl. The emotional layers ran deep. Grief and new life interwoven, a collision of timelines that no heart could easily make sense of. The contrast was heavy, so many layers of emotion for us all. Grief, confusion, and love, and the strange timing of life continuing in other directions. Letting go of Nalu's body was unbearable. No mother or father should have to pass their baby's body into the hands of strangers, no matter how kind. But as the doors of the crematorium opened, we saw it, a gathering, our ancestors standing tall, receiving him. On return to our home with his ashes, the car ferries spun 6 times for Nalu, sounding their horns in honour of our son. We buried Nalu's whenua, his placenta, beneath a mighty pahutakawa at Elliot's Beach, Tiako, a place close to our hearts. Not long after, we learned the area had been cordoned off due to the discovery of ancestral remains and was now recognised as a wahi tapu, a sacred burial site. We hadn't known at the time, but it felt divinely guided, as though the ancestors already were waiting and to welcome him. On our drive home, a kahu, a huge hawk, appeared on the roadside, freshly passed, its body untouched and still warm, as if it had been waiting for us. We understood it was a sacred offering. We wrapped it gently and gave thanks. Later, once the wings were preserved, we measured them, 51 centimetres, Nalu's length, a silent affirmation from the spirit world. That was his way, gently curating messages from beyond the veil, reminding us that life and death are not opposites, they are family. So many ask, how do you survive something like this? And my answer is, you don't, not fully. In the beginning, it feels unbearable, like a wound that will never close. But over time, the raw edges begin to mend. The pain softens, but the imprint remains. A quiet reminder of what once was. The truth is, you never truly move on. You move with it. The love you had does not disappear, it transforms. It lingers in the echoes of music, in the warmth of old memories, in the silent moments where you still reach for what no longer is there. Grief is not just an emotion, it's an unraveling, a space where something once lived but is gone. It carves through you, leaving a hollow ache where love once resided. Nalu continues to help us. He is not just our sorrow, he is our invitation into the depth of love, into mystery and into presence. Thank you for receiving this story. And thank you, Nalu, for choosing us. Aroha atu ki taua pepe, ka haere, tō wairoa te koro ai aroha, o henu nui te pō, kua whetu rangiti a koe, e moi, e moi, e moi.